Latinx community will make up a quarter of the United States population by the year 2020. It is important to understand the immense diversity of the Latinx community. There is a rich history and many different kinds of cultures in South Central America. Not all Latinos and Latinas are the same. We have to avoid the assumption that everyone within the Latinx community is from the same place with the same kinds of beliefs and cultural practices. What does Latino mean exactly? Latino is defined as someone with Latin American heritage. The term itself is a bit controversial because it's used to describe a variety of different people. People who identify as Latino could be from completely different places, like saying Canadians and Americans are the same thing. Latinx is also a term used as a gender-neutral term in hopes for inclusion. This blanket term does not define such different cultures that are present in all over South Central America.
There are major differences in traditions, values, and food that make each culture distinct.
Be mindful of the negative stereotypes that surround the Latinx community. When they are represented in the media, more often than not, they are shown as illegal immigrants, gang members, or women who are highly sexualized.
A popular example is Sofia Vergara from Modern Family as a Latin lover. This role reduces her to a one-dimensional sex object with no emotions or opinions. Another example is Rafael de la Fuente from CW's Dynasty. He is a Latinx character who is made out to be nothing more than an illegal immigrant with a criminal record.
Find the right house?
If I'd have known you were coming, I would have...
You would have hidden the undocumented?
Have you ever broken a law?
I've never extorted anyone.
Because you haven't had to. You don't know what it is like to worry about making rent or what you're gonna do if your car breaks down.
This is also replicated in news media, as shown in many recent news articles. The primary focus is not on the Latinx identity and all of its complexities, but rather on how they are in the States illegally.
Do not always go for the popular stories surrounding the Latinx community like immigration, drug trafficking, or other crimes. Great reporting comes from understanding the intricacies of the Latinx community and representing them as more than just a negative stereotype. A good example comes from a web series called East Willie B.
Text me. Okay. I gotta break up with her. What, Manny?
Sassy, you gotta let me record a movie with your lesbian friend.
Let me break that thing.
Hey, don't touch my shit. Relax. You're not gonna be in it. I don't want nobody to get blinded off your white ass anyway.
I'm a light-skinned Latino, right?
You're more like transparent skin.
Why are you still alive? Huh?
Why are you even still working here?
In this clip, notice how we aren't seeing the Latinx community in one negative role. Here, we see them in realistic roles as people living their lives like anyone else. These representations go against the notion that the Latinx community can only occupy certain spaces in media and therefore can be a part of many different areas of society, which more accurately reflects their actual role in the United States. Here's what we've learned so far. Latinx is the gender-neutral term or non-binary alternative to Latino or Latina. The X replaces the male and female endings O and A, which are part of Spanish grammar conventions. This term comes from American-born Latinos and Latinas who want to be more inclusive and gender-neutral. In contrast, Latino-Latina is someone who is a native or descendant from some sort of Latin American country. This term includes people from Brazil and excludes those born or descended from Spain. Not every Brazilian identifies as Latino or Latina, but many of them do. Latino and Latina refers more to the culture itself. And avoid negative stereotypes such as illegals, sex spots, maids, gangs, immigrants, and Spanish-only speaker. Remember, the goal is not to combat bad coverage with positive coverage. It's to replace one-sided coverage with authentic coverage of Latinx individuals.